If a woman is developing feelings for you, she will. Old Stoic wisdom. Welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving into a topic that every man should know: how a woman's words can reveal when she's developing feelings for you. Women often express their emotions subconsciously through their language, long before they directly admit their feelings. It's fascinating how language serves as more than just a means of communication. It's the bridge to connection. As a woman starts to develop feelings for someone, her choice of words tends to shift, moving beyond casual conversation. She may not even realize it, but her speech will carry subtle psychological clues about her emotional state. According to behavioral psychology, emotional attachment is often expressed through nuanced patterns in the way we speak. Dr. John Gottman, a well-respected relationship expert, found that the words we use in our relationships often serve as strong predictors of long-term emotional commitment. For women, these shifts in language can reveal their emotions well before they actually say, "I like you." So, if you've been wondering whether she's starting to catch feelings for you, pay attention to what she's saying. Her words will often tell you what her heart hasn't yet confessed. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear understanding of the subtle yet telling phrases women use when they're falling for you. Stick around until the end, as I'll reveal the ultimate phrase that signals her true feelings, one you won't want to miss. It could completely change how you approach relationships and attraction moving forward. Thanks for joining us, your trusted source for real, actionable advice on navigating love and relationships. 1. I feel like I've known you forever. When a woman says, "I feel like I've known you forever," don't brush it off as casual chatter. She's not just filling space with words. What she's actually telling you is that there's an emotional bond between the two of you that goes beyond mere conversation. It's an expression of how comfortable and connected she feels with you, as if there's something unspoken, something deeper, that transcends time and logic. This is where Old Stoic wisdom comes into play. Stoic principles teach us to focus on what is within our control, to cultivate emotional stability, and to recognize that true connection often comes when we least expect it. This phrase is a powerful signal that she feels emotionally safe with you, a feeling that is often hard to find and even harder to articulate. According to Dr. John Gottman, a leading researcher in relationships, emotional safety is one of the biggest drivers of attraction. When a woman feels secure with you, she begins to associate you with trust, warmth, and reliability, traits that form the foundation of genuine romantic interest. And here's the thing. Women tend to form emotional attachments faster than men, especially when they feel truly understood. The old Stoic wisdom would suggest that by maintaining an iron mind and staying grounded, you can recognize and nurture these connections without overthinking them. Think about the power of effortless connections. When you meet someone who just gets you, it's like an immediate bond is formed. You don't need to work at it. It feels natural, even fated. And that's exactly how she feels when she says, "I feel like I've known you forever." It's her way of saying that being with you feels easy, comfortable, and almost destined. You may have only known each other for a few weeks, but in her eyes, it's as if time has already granted you both a deeper connection. Her subconscious is speaking loud and clear, telling her that you've carved out a space in her life that feels familiar, safe, and even right. This is the sort of emotional response that men can learn to read, one rooted in trust, respect, and deep emotional resonance. But you must be careful not to take it lightly. If you dismiss or ignore these feelings, you risk shutting down the connection she's trying to build. So, how should you respond when she reveals such vulnerability? The worst thing you can do is ignore it or play it down. Instead, lean into the moment with confidence, acknowledging the depth of her emotions. You could playfully tease her with something like, "So, are you saying we might have been soulmates in another life?" This allows you to keep the conversation light-hearted and fun, while subtly reinforcing the emotional bond. On the other hand, if you want to deepen the connection, simply say, "That's really sweet. I feel the same way." When you respond with understanding, she'll feel seen and validated. You'll be reinforcing the connection that she's already starting to build in her mind. And don't forget the Stoic principles. Stay calm, grounded, and open. Recognize that emotional vulnerability is a huge sign of interest, and that it's something you can use to create an even stronger bond. In the end, this isn't just about acknowledging her feelings. It's about tapping into the essence of emotional intelligence and realizing that women, much like the Stoics, find comfort in consistency and emotional safety. The key here is to respond with empathy and a clear mind, understanding that these moments aren't just fleeting compliments, but a true reflection of her growing interest. Be attentive, remain calm, and let the connection grow naturally. This is where your iron mind will serve you best. When you truly understand and appreciate what she's saying, you create the foundation for something that could truly last. 2. You're one of my closest friends. Let's pause for a moment and digest that phrase. You're one of my closest friends. Now, before your heart skips a beat, thinking you've just been relegated to the dreaded friend zone, let's break this down using the wisdom of the ages, Stoic wisdom, to be exact. Don't panic. You're not being pushed away. Instead, she's giving you a subtle yet powerful hint, one that taps into the core of human connection. This is not about rejection. It's about a deeper kind of trust and emotional security, emotional intimacy. The foundation of attraction. Now, let's talk about what's really going on when she says that. When a woman calls you one of her closest friends, especially if you haven't known each other for long, she's testing the waters of emotional intimacy. The key word here is trust. The fact that she feels comfortable sharing personal stories, insecurities, and life experiences with you means she's emotionally investing. In the language of practical Stoicism, we understand that emotional security comes first, before any physical attraction can fully develop. Think about it. Women are inherently wired to seek out emotional safety first. This isn't just a social rule, it's a biological one. Women look for men who make them feel safe, understood, and supported. That's the bedrock of any meaningful relationship. So, when she says, "You're one of my closest friends," it isn't an attempt to friend-zone you. Far from it. It's her way of saying, "I trust you. You've earned a place in my inner circle, and that's a big deal." The path to true connection. Let's not sugarcoat things. No one wants to be stuck in the friend zone, but that's not where you are. To understand this better, let's turn to the paths of wisdom provided by Stoic principles. The Stoics taught us the importance of self-control and emotional regulation, but they also understood the vital role of trust in human relationships. As the ancient philosopher Seneca once said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Your fear of being stuck in the friend zone. It's a creation of your mind. In reality, you're being given a golden opportunity to build something much deeper. When she shares personal details, it means she's not just talking about the weather or surface-level stuff. She's opening up, emotionally vulnerable, and seeking a connection that goes beyond superficiality. That's the doorway to a meaningful relationship. So don't panic. Don't get caught up in imagining worst-case scenarios. Instead, respond with poise and gratitude. How to respond? Like a stoic man. Here's the game plan. Don't rush to label the relationship. Don't fumble for the right words out of panic or discomfort. Respond calmly and affirmatively. A great response. I really appreciate that. I believe that great relationships start with strong friendships. This isn't just some rehearsed line. It's a truth that reflects both emotional maturity and Stoic insight. Practical Stoicism teaches us that a strong foundation is built on trust and emotional connection, not on grand gestures or immediate romantic intentions. This response plants a subtle seed. It shifts the conversation from friendship to the kind of deep emotional bond that forms the bedrock of lasting relationships. It lets her know that you value emotional intimacy and that you understand relationships don't develop overnight. They evolve with time, understanding, and mutual trust. The more comfortable she feels, the more she sees you as more. Here's the kicker: the more comfortable she feels around you, the more likely she is to see you as something more than just a friend. Think about the Stoic advice: don't rush the process. Trust the journey. Let her emotional investment in you grow at its own pace. And as you demonstrate consistency and emotional reliability, the attraction will shift from friendship to something much deeper. Remember, it's not about pushing for romance. It's about being present, being reliable, and being the man who understands the deeper layers of connection. When you embody the Stoic rules of patience, understanding, and trust, you create a space where emotional intimacy can bloom into something greater. The more you show that you are steady, grounded, and emotionally supportive, the more likely she will see you as a partner in a real, long-term relationship. Conclusion: 1. You must trust the process. In the end, if a woman says you're one of her closest friends, don't freak out. Don't start seeing it as a setback. Instead, recognize it as an opportunity to build a deeper connection. You're not stuck in the friend zone. You're in the perfect position to cultivate the emotional intimacy that will eventually lead to something more. Remember, the key to understanding these situations lies in the paths of wisdom that Stoicism teaches. Embrace emotional security, build trust, be consistent, don't rush things. Let the connection develop naturally, and soon, you'll see that the friend zone is nothing more than a stepping stone to a meaningful relationship. You must take your time, trust the process, and understand that true emotional intimacy precedes everything else. You'll be grateful that you did. 3. You're so different from other guys I've met. When a woman says, "You're so different from other guys I've met," you must understand the gravity of that statement. She's telling you that you stand out. In the world of attraction, standing out is your key to victory. Women are constantly evaluating men, but not in a harsh or judgmental way. It's a natural process, an internal filtering system to assess who's worthy of her emotional investment. You, my friend, have become a contender. You have passed the test. She's comparing you to the men she's met before, and if she's saying you're different, it means you've climbed above the average. You are a high-value man. And she notices that this isn't just some casual compliment. It's a clear signal that she sees potential in you. And in her mind, you've moved past the masses of ordinary men. This is selective perception at work, a psychological principle that plays a massive role in attraction. When we form an emotional connection with someone, our brain starts filtering everything through that attachment. If she sees you as someone special, you instantly get placed above the rest of the pack. It's not just about the words she says, it's the meaning behind them. "You're not like most guys," she might say, or "you actually listen," or even "you're different in a good way." What she's truly saying is, "You are worth my time. You stand out in a way that draws me in." And when she says it, don't just nod and thank her. You must respond with confidence and playful curiosity. Tease her a bit. "I'll take that as a compliment," you should say, with a sly smile. Then, take it further. Ask her, "What exactly makes me different in your eyes? Why does this work for you?" This subtle challenge forces her to verbalize what draws her to you. And once she does, she's reinforcing her own attraction without even realizing it. You've now turned the tables in your favor. She's not just admiring you from a distance, she's mentally building the case for why you stand out in a way no other man has. This is where Stoic wisdom comes into play. Epictetus, the ancient philosopher, taught us to focus on what we can control and disregard what we cannot. When she notices your difference, you cannot control how she feels, but you can control how you present yourself. Confidence, self-awareness, and Stoic detachment from neediness make you a high-value man who stands out. You must remember that attraction is not something you chase. It's something you earn by being true to your best self. Stoicism wins in the game of attraction. The more you focus on mastery of yourself, the more you'll naturally stand out to those around you. Don't seek validation. Earn respect through your actions, your integrity, and your clarity. Your behavior, not your words, makes the greatest impression. By remaining grounded in your principles, you make yourself a man who is not like the others, someone truly worth paying attention to. Victory in attraction is not about flashy gestures or trying too hard. It's about embodying the calm, decisive strength of a man who knows what he's about. So, take this lesson to heart. When a woman says you're different, take pride in it. You've earned that distinction. But remember, don't let it go to your head. Stay true to your path and keep refining your character. As Epictetus would say, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Your actions, rooted in stoicism and self-mastery, will ensure that you not only stand out, but stand tall above the rest. This is how you win. If you found this insight valuable, don't forget to like, comment below, and share it with someone who could benefit from this wisdom. And of course, make sure to subscribe for more powerful content. Positive affirmation comment to remember. I am a high-value man who stands out. Engage with us in the comments and let's keep the conversation going. 4. I feel like I can be myself around you. When a woman says, I feel like I can be myself around you, don't overlook the gravity of the statement. This isn't just some casual remark. This is a direct expression of trust, a rare and powerful admission. In her words, she's letting you into her real self, the version of her that she keeps hidden from the world. Think about it. People don't just drop their guard around anyone. Typically, we present a carefully crafted version of ourselves, one that we believe will be accepted by those around us. But when a woman feels comfortable enough to let go of that mask, to show her quirks, her vulnerability, or even her goofier side, it signifies that she feels emotionally safe with you. It's a moment of authenticity bonding, a fundamental human need to connect with others who accept us for who we truly are. This is something not every man recognizes, but it's also the very foundation of long-term attraction. This moment of honesty is crucial. It marks a turning point in how she sees you. She might start revealing little bits of herself that most people never get to see: embarrassing stories, silly habits, or thoughts she usually keeps to herself. And when she says, I don't know why, but I can just be myself around you, take note. This is huge. It means you've earned something very few can her trust. It's a sign that she feels she can show up without fear of judgment. In the world of Stoic principles, this mirrors the idea of an iron mind, being unshakable, unaffected by superficialities. You, in that moment, become a safe harbour, one that doesn't demand a facade, but embraces vulnerability and truth. So, how do you respond to such a statement? First, understand the value of it. Acknowledge her openness, but don't overdo it. Keep it light and warm. You might say, that's the best compliment you could give me. Or if she's being playful or goofy, match her energy. Show her that you can hang with the real version of her without batting an eye. Well, don't stop now. I want to see the full, unfiltered version of you. You might say with a grin. These responses don't just acknowledge her vulnerability, they amplify it. They make her feel more secure and validated in that space, encouraging her to open up even more. Remember, once a woman feels like she can truly be herself around you, you've crossed a significant threshold. It's a sign that your connection has moved beyond the superficial and into the realm of deep emotional intimacy. In the context of Stoic wisdom, this is about mastering the art of emotional stability. You remain calm, composed, and unaffected by whatever she shows you. This emotional steadiness creates a space where she can drop her guard completely, knowing that you won't judge her. She can trust you not only with her most polished self, but with the parts of her that are raw, real, and, yes, vulnerable. In the end, this is the kind of connection that can evolve into something lasting and meaningful. You have to be the kind of man who values this authenticity, who embraces it without hesitation. In a world where many are too concerned with appearances, your ability to maintain an iron mind, rooted in Stoic principles, allows you to offer a stability that makes her feel safe, seen, and loved. The more she feels like she can be herself around you, the stronger the bond becomes. And once she reaches that point, believe me, she'll never want to let that feeling go. Keep that in mind as you continue on your journey toward building a meaningful, lasting relationship. 5. You make me feel seen and heard. There's power in those words. You make me feel seen and heard. A simple statement, but one that carries weight. It's a declaration of deep connection, a sentiment most men underestimate. But don't be fooled by its simplicity. This phrase is a rare gem, and when a woman says it, she's telling you something monumental. She's acknowledging that you've unlocked a fundamental key to the human heart, the ability to truly understand her. In the world of Stoic rules, understanding is more than just hearing. It's about truly seeing, without judgment, without haste, and certainly without the urge to fix things. You must know that women, more than anything, seek validation. It's not just about listening to their words, it's about recognizing the depth of their emotions, their thoughts, and their experiences. This is where practical stoicism comes into play. The wise Stoic doesn't rush to respond with solutions or opinions. Instead, they listen, calmly, attentively, and thoughtfully. When a woman tells you that you make her feel seen and heard, it means you've transcended the ordinary. You've engaged in a level of emotional intelligence that's both rare and invaluable. Think of it as a small act of wisdom, guided by the paths of wisdom. You've given her the gift of validation, and that gift is not easily forgotten. The power of emotional validation. In the context of a relationship, emotional validation isn't just a bonus, it's a cornerstone. When a woman says she feels seen and heard by you, she's expressing a need that's both fundamental and deeply emotional. She doesn't want to be simply acknowledged. She wants to be understood. This is the art of listening, true listening, which is quite different from hearing words passively. It's an active engagement, an invitation to join her world, and a space where her thoughts and emotions matter. Psychological studies, such as one published in Psychology Today, affirm that emotional validation plays a crucial role in long-term attraction. When she feels heard, she experiences a sense of emotional security, a feeling of being valued, and that in turn strengthens the bond between the two of you. This is why the ability to make a woman feel truly seen and heard is so powerful. It's the emotional glue that holds relationships together, and it's something that cannot be faked. Remember, emotions are not problems to be solved, they are experiences to be acknowledged. The Stoic rules of wisdom remind us that the most effective way to support someone emotionally is not by offering unsolicited advice, but by providing a safe space for them to express themselves. What does this look like in real life? You might be wondering how to translate this into real-world interactions. Well, think of it like this. Imagine she shares a personal story about her past. It could be about something that shaped her deeply, maybe a hardship she's overcome or a victory she's proud of. Instead of offering advice or trying to fix the situation, you listen with intent. You don't interrupt or change the subject. You engage with genuine curiosity, ask thoughtful questions, and reflect back on what she's said. Later, when you bring up something she mentioned in passing, perhaps a small detail about her favourite childhood movie or an ambition she's shared about the future, she'll notice. This is where she will look at you differently. Why? Because you've shown her that her words, her emotions, and her experiences are important. At that moment, when she says, "You make me feel seen and heard," you'll understand that you've created something precious, emotional security. This isn't just a compliment, it's an acknowledgement of the deep connection you've built. How should you respond? The key to reinforcing this connection is acknowledgement. Don't just nod or dismiss her words with a simple thanks. Instead, offer a response that reinforces the mutual respect and understanding in your relationship. Acknowledge the depth of the connection you've cultivated. You could say something like, "I think the best relationships are built on mutual understanding. I love hearing your perspective." This kind of affirmation not only validates her feelings, but also deepens the bond between you. It shows her that you appreciate her thoughts and emotions as much as she appreciates yours. In the grand scheme of relationships, these moments of connection are what build trust and intimacy, and that trust, it's not something that comes easily or quickly. It's built on small, consistent acts of emotional validation, on being seen and heard. The Stoic approach to relationships. Let's take a step back and look at this through the lens of practical Stoicism. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control. In the context of relationships, we can control how we listen, how we engage, and how we respond. We can't control how someone feels, but we can create the conditions for them to feel safe and valued. And when a woman feels safe and valued, she will feel seen and heard. The paths of wisdom remind us that true emotional connection doesn't happen through grand gestures or flashy words. It's found in the quiet moments of mutual understanding, in the subtle art of being present, and in the practice of simply listening. So, when she tells you that you make her feel seen and heard, take it as the compliment it is. And remember, it's your ongoing commitment to emotional understanding that will continue to deepen this bond. Be the man who listens, who understands, and who values her experiences. The Stoic rules of patience and presence will guide you every step of the way. If you find today's content useful to you, don't forget to share your feelings and lessons with us. Or simply comment, "Very cool." It's a great encouragement for our channel makers. Thank you very much. 6. I feel a deep connection with you. When a woman tells you she feels a deep connection with you, understand this is not just a passing comment, it's a profound declaration. The word connection here is not about surface-level attraction or casual interest. It's about emotional investment, a rare and irreplaceable bond. She's not referring to fleeting chemistry or shared hobbies. She's speaking about something far deeper, a bond that resonates with her on a soul level. People don't say this lightly. It's a signal that she views you as someone who truly understands her, someone she feels deeply drawn to. This is a moment of profound clarity. Psychologists call this emotional resonance, where two people's energies align in a way that makes them feel completely in sync. It's a harmony that transcends ordinary interactions and creates something extraordinary. You'll notice this shift as she starts opening up about the deeper parts of her life, her fears, childhood memories, dreams for the future, things she may not have shared with many. She'll refer to past conversations you've had, telling you how much they've meant to her. Slowly but surely, she begins associating you with emotional fulfillment. Before she even realizes it, she's already emotionally hooked. This is not something she can fake. It's an involuntary connection that forms when she feels safe to be vulnerable. Now, how do you respond when she tells you this? The first step is clear. Do not downplay it. Do not brush it off or treat it as if it's just a nice compliment. Instead, reinforce it, recognize the weight of her words, and validate her feelings. Respond by saying something like, "I agree. A connection like this is rare, and I think we have something truly special." By doing so, you're not just acknowledging her feelings, you're creating a space for them to deepen. You're showing her that you value this bond, and this will only strengthen her emotional attachment to you. Remember, this is the art of winning in relationships, just like the Stoics taught us. As Epictetus said, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. What he meant is this: it's not about grand gestures or superficial displays of affection. True success comes from understanding and embracing the rare connections we form with others, nurturing them through patience and respect. This is your moment to show that you understand the depth of this emotional connection. Don't rush it. Let it grow at its own pace. This is how you win in love, by taking the time to cultivate emotional resonance. In the modern world, we're constantly bombarded by distractions, quick fixes, and instant gratification, but the principles of Stoicism still hold true today. When you recognize a woman's deeper feelings, you must acknowledge them with strength and confidence. You must stand firm in your own emotions and not shy away from what's real. As Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." This applies directly to relationships. If you value the connection and feed it with respect, patience, and care, it will only grow stronger. This is how you master relationships and win in life. So, take this moment seriously. don't dismiss it. Don't assume it's just another passing phase. Instead, stand with her in this deep connection, validate her feelings, acknowledge the rarity of what's developing between you two, and watch as this bond solidifies into something truly remarkable. You're not just engaging in a relationship, you're mastering it, just as Stoic wisdom teaches. It's about winning by understanding, by connecting on a deeper level, and by making each moment count. This is how you win with her, and win at life. 7. I can talk to you about anything. When a woman tells you, I can talk to you about anything, don't let that simple phrase slip past you unnoticed, because it's a powerful testament to emotional compatibility, the kind that sets the foundation for lasting attraction and relationships. Sure, you might think it's similar to a deep connection, but there's a profound difference here. A deep connection typically points to the emotional bond that ties you together, while saying, I can talk to you about anything, shows something even more rare. She feels entirely safe with you, free from judgment, and secure in your presence. It's not just about sharing emotions, it's about having the freedom to express her thoughts, however deep, random, or trivial, and knowing that you'll listen without hesitation or criticism. That's the essence of emotional compatibility. Think about it. How many people can you truly open up to without fear of being misunderstood or judged? The answer is probably very few, but if she's saying this to you, you've reached a rare level of trust and understanding. She's telling you that she sees you as her emotional safe space. This isn't just about a passing attraction. It's about the iron mind of someone who values genuine connection over superficiality. You must understand that in the realm of relationships, this kind of openness is a treasure. And trust me, the value of such emotional compatibility only deepens with time. It's an investment that builds a lasting connection rooted in the Stoic principles of emotional strength and resilience. Now, there's a bonus here. When a woman says, I miss you even when you haven't been gone long, take this as another monumental indicator of her feelings. Let me be clear, people don't just miss anyone. Missing someone, especially when you've barely been apart, speaks volumes. It shows that you've become so integral to her world that your presence lingers in her thoughts, even in your absence. This is no passing comment. This is the kind of feeling that only comes when someone genuinely cherishes you. Missing someone means that your place in their emotional landscape is undeniable, and for her to feel that way about you means she's emotionally invested, looking ahead with hopes of long-term attachment. As you embrace this, remember that in matters of relationships, the Old Stoic wisdom suggests that true strength lies in emotional resilience. Keep your mind sharp, steady, and unfazed. Don't let fleeting emotions cloud your judgment. You must cultivate the Stoic principle of inner fortitude, allowing you to be the safe harbour she feels she can always turn to. This is the kind of relationship that withstands the test of time. You must nurture it with care, knowing that emotional compatibility is a rarity and one worth cherishing. So, when a woman says she misses you even after a short time, understand that this isn't just a passing feeling. It's a sign of something deeper, a bond that has the potential to grow stronger. Keep your focus steady, trust in the strength of your emotional connection, and continue to build a relationship grounded in the timeless wisdom of Stoic principles. If you've made it this far, you're already seeing the signs that most men overlook. When a woman says she can talk to you about anything or that she misses you, she's showing you a deeper level of emotional connection. She's not just talking about attraction, she's talking about emotional compatibility. If you recognize this, you're already on the path to something truly meaningful. Please comment below. I am becoming the kind of man she can't stop thinking about. 8. I can't imagine my life without you. When a woman says these words, take notice. This is not a fleeting comment. It's a significant signal of how deeply she feels about you. It's a clear sign that she's starting to view you as a central part of her life, someone who holds a key role in her future. The phrase, I can't imagine my life without you, is more than just a tender sentiment. It's a deep emotional investment that goes far beyond the moment. At its core, this statement indicates that she's mentally and emotionally envisioning a future with you, one where you're not just present, but integral. She sees you as someone who could bring her long-term fulfillment and joy. It's a marker of a shift from casual affection to something far deeper, something that carries weight and longevity. You see, the mind of a woman, much like the philosopher's mind, works through the lens of what's next. When she speaks these words, she's thinking of the bigger picture, weaving you into the fabric of her life in a way that speaks to commitment and security. Now, let's get to the heart of it. How should you respond? Don't take this lightly. This is not the time for indecision or hesitation. This is the moment where you acknowledge the depth of her emotions and offer the same in return. If you truly feel the same way, don't just nod in agreement. Show it. Speak to her heart and reaffirm the bond you're building together. A simple yet profound reply, like, "I feel the same way." It's amazing to think about how much we've already built together. Does wonders. In moments like these, let the wisdom of practical stoicism guide you. Stoic rules teach us the power of presence, of being fully aware and engaged with what's right in front of you. This isn't about grand gestures or empty promises. It's about recognizing that the present moment and the potential of the future are both intertwined. That's the path of wisdom. Isn't it recognizing what's important and investing in it with purpose? Don't let fear or uncertainty get in the way. If she's giving you this profound insight into her feelings, you must show that you, too, are emotionally invested. Stoicism isn't about cold detachment. It's about understanding the moment and responding with clarity and calm determination. You must know when to step up and give her the assurance she seeks. Remember, these emotions are not always as transient as we sometimes think. When a woman says, "I can't imagine my life without you," it's a declaration. She's opening the door to the possibility of something deeper, and she's asking you to step through. Don't turn away from that invitation. If you're unsure, take a moment to reflect. The Stoic way is to pause, assess, and then respond with certainty. Don't be afraid to show vulnerability. Practical Stoicism teaches us that strength comes not from hiding emotions, but from confronting them with honesty and grace. So what's next? It's your turn to show her what this relationship means to you. Acknowledge her feelings. Don't dismiss them. Be direct. Be honest. Take this as an opportunity to demonstrate how well you can integrate the principles of Stoic rules into the relationships that matter most. And remember, the future you build together isn't just about surviving. It's about thriving. When both of you look at your shared future, make sure you're both stepping into it with confidence, clarity, and the kind of bond that's built on wisdom, shared goals, and mutual respect. In conclusion, don't overlook the significance of these words. "I can't imagine my life without you" is a powerful statement. It's the beginning of something profound. Don't just let it pass you by. Take this moment to reinforce the strength of your connection. Be present. Be strong. Be the partner she's envisioning, and the future will be yours to build. Hey there. Thanks for sticking around. Now that you've learned these subtle but powerful phrases that women use when developing feelings for you, you're ahead of the game. Remember, it's not just about the words, it's about paying attention to the energy behind them. So, be mindful and aware of these signals. They're real, and they matter. Here's some sincere advice. If you catch yourself hearing these signs, take a moment to truly understand them. It's not about rushing anything, but being open and receptive to the connection that's forming. Don't overthink it, but don't ignore it either. Authenticity is key in any relationship. If you've made it this far, congratulations. You now understand those subtle signs. If you've watched till the end, comment. I see the signs below. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like it. It's a small action that makes a huge difference in helping this content reach more people. Share it with a friend who might need to hear this. And check out our recommended video next. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. you.